What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we are watching an interview with Alex Lifeson of Rush. This is apparently two interviews put together, one from the 70s, one from the 80s. We're going to check it out because the last interview I did was with all three of them, and Alex basically didn't talk. He may have been under the influence. I don't really know. But I haven't heard him really say much of anything. So I'm like, all right, let's see this guy speak. Let's see what's going on with this guy. If you're new here, please subscribe. Check out my videos. I got all kinds of videos. I got reaction videos, 9 a.m. and I do one at 4 p.m. with my wife every day. I got bass Playalongs, live performances, advanced musician tips, all kinds of videos. Definitely check it out. In the description below, Amazon affiliate links to all things Rush, all kinds of other links, all kinds of information. Definitely check out the description. All right, Alex. What's going on, Alex? What do you even sound like? Words out of your mouth. Yeah, I don't know. So let's check this out. Bam.
Hi, my name's Alex Lifeson. I'm going to talk to you about my guitars. Right over here I have an ES355 TD, which was custom made at the Kalamazoo plant. I had it stuffed for a while. Everything on it is stock. I had it stuffed with cotton to cut down the microphonics, but since then I've removed it because this guitar has a little more solidity to it that the 335 doesn't on the same body shape. This is an ES335 TD. It's a 1968 model, so it's almost 10 years old. And this is my baby. This is the guitar I've had since I began playing guitar. Pretty well. Yeah, it's a very interesting story, which I won't go into right now. Right over here is a Gibson Les Paul Standard, which I use as a practice guitar, something to fool around with in the dressing room. As far as sound goes, I don't think I can get the same sound that I get out of the 335 and the 355, simply because it's a solid body, and these guitars are hollow bodies. And with a hollow body, I can get a lot more clarity and brightness, whereas with the solid body, it's the sound is a lot mushier and fatter, and not the way I want it. Right over here is I'm not sure of the model number, so I'll just say the custom double neck 12 and 6 string on a modified SG type body. This guitar I've had reworked a little bit. I've had one of the new tunumatics put in on the 6 string, and I've had a modified bridge put in on the 12 string just to get the intonation a little closer, which is a very hard thing to do on a 12 string because obviously there are two different gauges once you get into the wound, the G down. Let's see. Right over here is a B45 12, which is the only acoustic 12, as you probably know, model that Gibson still makes on order. And I guess that's it. I have a Dove as well, which isn't out, that I use primarily for recording, and the Epiphone over here in the corner, which has been pretty good so far. Epiphone CO60, which I use on stage with a Barkasberry transducer, as the B45 12 has. And that's it.
Second release from Signals album, which was out a few years ago, which was very keyboard dominated.
Yeah.
There's more of a balance this time between the keyboards and the guitar, I think.
Well, this goes back to what I was saying about ups and downs with our records. With each record we try different things, different approaches. With Signals, we wanted a different perspective. We wanted to bring the keyboards out a bit. We'd been working with the keyboards for quite a few years, and we felt that it was time to do that. But unfortunately, the guitar suffered. And looking back on that record, the guitar did suffer quite a bit, I think. On the plus side, I learned to be more sensitive to the rhythm section, to Neil and Geddy. And it opened up doors for me, even though it wasn't satisfying from a balance point of view. Grace Under Pressure, I think, was a reaction to Signals. The guitar came up
really
front,
did, yeah.
and it stayed up front for the whole record, and sort of kept everybody back.
Yeah.
But with this record, I think you're right. I think we've struck a good balance with all the instruments. I don't think any one instrument is lacking in its presence or in the perspective of the whole sound.
It's quite an ambitious album too, because you've got strings and a choir on there, I notice.
Yeah, well, you know, for so many years we said, let's not do anything we can't reproduce live on stage. And for 10 studio albums, we stuck to that rule. This time around, we thought, let's not shortchange any of the songs. Let's develop them to their maximum and then worry about reproducing them later. And as it is, I think those fears were unfounded to begin with. I don't think we're going to have any problems with this record. And those small little details that may be missing can be made up for the energy of a live performance.
The arrangements on the last few Rush albums have been quite complex. Do you ever get lost on stage and play the wrong notes, or just do completely the wrong thing at the wrong time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Often. There are the days where your mind just sort of goes away, and suddenly you turn around and you realize you're in front of all these people, when a minute ago you were on a different planet somewhere. And that's scary. And occasionally, we'll all get lost at the same time, and it's mayhem. It's just complete chaos for about 3 seconds, and then we fall back into the song for some unexplained reason. But it's a good laugh in the dressing room after the show.
I'm sure it is, but it's funny you saying that, because Rush have something of a reputation for being a very serious band who tend to scorn the kind of cliches of sex and drugs and rock and roll within the lifestyle. I mean, those things are available to you, but Rush tend not to get involved, it seems.
You know, we're very serious about our music. We're serious about how we work and our quality. And we try very hard to do the best that we possibly can when we make a record and when we write our music. It is a serious thing for us. Believe me, we don't take ourselves very seriously. And we're no different than, you know, any of the viewers here tonight. It's an unfortunate reputation, I think, that we have that's stayed with us. But that's really the only thing it is. It's that we take what we do seriously. Music is very important to us, and we don't fool with it. Yeah. But on our free time, we are pretty good fools.
But there was a story a while back that you took a French teacher with you on the road while you were touring so you could learn the language, which is a very un-rock and roll thing to do after a show.
Yeah. Okay, well, some bands, I know, like to spend the afternoon after sound check before showtime drinking and going crazy or whatever. After so many years of touring, sitting around a dressing room waiting to go on, you know, that's really boring, and you want to do something. There's not a lot you can do. And we thought, well, why don't we learn to speak French, a language, and from there we can learn to speak Chinese, and then Japanese. It was a big dream. So we called up the Berlitz schools, and they provided a teacher in all the major cities on the tour. And we took an hour and a half of French, which is a second language in Canada. And Neil has a home in Quebec, and the part of Quebec that he's in, it's 90% French. So it's a handy thing to have.
It means you can also speak to the audiences when you come and play in France. Yeah, when can we expect to see Rush, actually? Because you haven't played France, that's true. But when can we expect to see Rush come to Europe this time?
It's hard to say. We're only taking a couple of months at a time. In the past, we would look at a tour as being 8 months long, and we'd know exactly where we would be in 6 months, 3 weeks, 2 days, and 5 hours. But this time around, I think we're just going to take a couple of months at a time. Maybe the spring. That's the usual time we come over to Europe.
Okay, so you're starting in the States in December, and maybe here next spring, so we'll look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. All right, that was an interesting compilation. The first was apparently from 1977, and it's him talking about his guitars, and he sounds like a complete dork. Just a total dork. There's no other way I could think about it. He just sounds like a total, he sounds like this and these are my guitars, guys. You know, that's what he sounds like to me. Okay, cool. The other one, the one from 85, that one, I'm like, okay, this is actually, there's more here. And, you know, where I'm getting more of him and them, and is a little bit more similar. He's talking a little bit more along the lines of what the last interview I was watching, where it was all three of them, and he didn't speak that much. It's almost like this interview should have been his words in that other interview that I watched, the one where Neil and Geddy talked more, because he's talking about, you know, how they're serious about their work. You know, they obviously, I mean, especially now, you know, it's just obvious, especially all the videos that I've seen of them even live, that they are jokesters. You know, they like joke around, they goof off, but yet they're serious about their work, you know, which is totally respectable. So that's cool. He was talking a bit about albums where one was like synth heavy and then another was guitar heavy, and I don't know what records he's talking about. I'm not there yet. So he's talking about something. Maybe you guys might know. This was that interview was 1985, so makes sense. I mean, obviously they had been using the synth for years and years, but it makes sense that at some point in the 80s they were going to go more synth heavy, because that's just what was happening in the 80s to everybody, and all this new technology was coming out, you know, especially with keyboards. So it would make sense that they would want to experiment with that kind of stuff. I think it was cool to hear that they didn't want to do anything in the studio that they couldn't reproduce live. I think that was cool. Yeah, because, you know, you always wonder. But these guys, they've done such a good job of, even in that previous interview that I watched where Geddy had this new piece of gear and this new technology. Oh, he can now use foot pedals. That's really cool. So that opened up so many doors of sounds for just a 3-piece. So that's huge. I think that's really cool. Digging watching these interviews and diving into the personalities of the people behind the band, hearing about their process and the music in this kind of way. It's cool. It makes you appreciate what you're hearing more so. So yeah, cool. Awesome. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe. Check out my videos, all kinds of videos, reaction videos, 9 a.m. Do one at 4 p.m. every day. Bass play-alongs, live performances, bands, musician tips, all kinds of videos. Check it out. In the description below, I have Amazon affiliate links, all kinds of other links. I got my email. I got some information. I got all kinds of stuff in the description. Check it out. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.